so I'd like to move on to outside of public practice. So I think majority of us kind of understand that the minute you go into banking, there is the rotation, but no one knows where do you rotate to, what divisions are there, what exposure do you get, what you expect in a sense. I don't know if you can share a bit of light.
Are you talking about TOP, that program? I have no idea. I will lie to you. I don't know how they do that. I always just assumed it's an internal audit, remember, because it has to be to conform to the SICA article standards. So you're not going to start doing banking deals because that's not what articles are about. So I thought they're very much internal audit focused, but then the way our internal audit functions are set up in the bank, it's generally by business. So I would assume the rotations are there with an internal audit, but across different businesses, because each business has their what we call their key processes, risks associated with those, and the controls around the risks. And internal audit constantly tests, those. So I guess that would be. So you still audit, but just within the same organization. What I would assume. Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, what I know as well is that for us, an elective is an audit because you're an audit firm. But what you find people do outside public practice is that they will choose financial management, and the focus would be there, right? Although they'll get an exposure in internal audit and tax, I think that's how they would move, right? But it's like Nico says, I don't see you doing deals. Yeah, but it must meet the cycle requirements, competence. Yeah.
And then lastly, I don't know if anyone has a question, but can you please take us through a general average day in your life as a CFO, as a director at an audit firm? How does it look like? What are the challenges that you deal with? What skills? I think we touched a bit based on that, but what skills does one really require to be able to sit in those positions?
Okay, so none of my days are the same, and no day turns out the way I planned it when I get into the office. That is true. There's always issues coming up that you have to deal with. So a solutionist thinking has really helped me very much so. Being able to stay calm and collected, that's what sets leaders apart. Okay, just that is. If you're like, running out the building, you can't stand the heat. Okay, so you got, and it's okay to say, I don't know what to do, but I'll find a solution. Yep, and having that confidence, and the more that you do that, the more you actually believe in yourself that you're going to find a solution. So staying calm, is dealing with the issues, and then but trying to be a visionary and trying to think forward in terms of where can the next issue be, or where should we take the business. It's thinking. It's trying to not fall in the trap of coming in and doing tasks, but it's removing yourself and just think. And you'll be surprised how little people think during the day. There was actually in SAT the other day. They said the average CA thinks like 2 hours or 3 hours a week, but proper thinking, applying your mind to stuff. It's so easy to come in and just do a task because that's not great thinking. So I try to do a lot of thinking. But yeah, it's in banking there are always issues. If it's a client issue or an employee issue or something with our reporting or something with tax, I'll come in and I'll have a nice little coffee, and then all of a sudden I get this email from SARS, wanting like a big amount, and okay, and then so that's why nowadays it's but it's the weeks that I'm fit, healthy, the weeks that I plan ahead, where I kind of try to do visionary thinking and stay ahead of the game, not be reactive or proactive. Those are the good weeks.
So same as Nico, it's never the same. At the time it moves during a period, I'd run with at least 4 engagements running at the same time, and they're all in different sectors, meaning they also different teams that I'm dealing with. And I remember one day I was in our IT department, and I think I was there for about 30 minutes, and my phone just kept ringing, and there was people looking for me and looking for solutions. Right. So that's what you get. Your phone just rings and rings because everyone else is looking at you for, you must be the one who provides solutions. And that's your point. Very little thinking people do. Some of the things you feel like shouldn't have come to me, you could have resolved it by yourself. So it's that. It's you make lots of decisions in a day. You deal with different clients with different personalities, and you must be agile. You must be able to adjust to them and be able to say, if it's Nico, how I treat Nico this way. If it's so and so, this is how I treat them. So you must be open to that. But it takes um, some learnings and some different skills and charisma. You have to have charisma. If your clients don't like you, you won't be on those engagements. It's a truth of the matter, right? And what I mean by don't like you is that you don't have to agree all the time. Professionally, we don't, and there's always issues. But then if personalities just clash because you're not adjusting to the client's personality, can just say they don't like you, they require different partner. So you have to understand your client, understand them very well. So reading personalities, it's a very critical skill. And also being able to assign the type of team I need to deal with a particular client, right? So I know this manager, it won't work with this one. Maybe I need a different manager on this, so I need so and so. So that's what you do. So you find best solutions for our clients, not only in terms of services that we provide, but even the people who provide those services, right? And also, even for me, I mean, as much as I can read people and I can try and get along with my clients, there's certain clients I believe I won't be fit for them, and I'll just recuse myself from those ones. So it's not going to work; it just doesn't, right? Uh, so yeah, you go in and if someone said to you, you know, we get paid for thinking and making decisions. That's what it is. You do exactly this. So you spend lots of time in meetings, right? Whereas I remember at the beginning when one becomes a director, you're like, yeah, I spend my whole day in meetings. What a waste. But that's your job. No, really, that really is. That's your job. You're making decisions there. You're winning business there. So that's part of it, right? So that's why it differs every day. And there are days where it's actually very technical, and I must give technical solutions to clients. Clients are not treating this in accordance with IFRS, and I put on my IFRS cap, and yeah, so it's quite dynamic. It's fun.
I think we've reached basically the end of our program. I think, yeah, if anyone else has a question,
Yeah,
now is the
mine
time.
is to think of your speaking of business now that you disclosed that you're married to CA. Does that in a way make life easier? Like, does it make understanding better?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Um, on the serious side, when well, she's my partner. What's nice about it, she understands what I'm going through at work. You know, she she actually had a very cool job in London. She worked for Burberry, the fashion brand. I don't know. And she worked for the CFO, Stacey Cartwright. At that time, Angela Orange was the CEO. She now works for Apple. And the exposure she had, and at least she could come home and say, I saw a product. I mean, now I have, she would buy me Burberry stuff. But anyway, so she had a fantastic, before we moved back, she had a fantastic career. So the point is, she knows what I'm going through at work. She has admiration for my career. She's my partner in helping me build that. So when I put the long hours in, she understands. On the funny side, she understands finances, so she doesn't go out and spend all our credit cards every weekend. In fact, she's so tough. I need to ask her. She's our minister of finances at home. So although now I bring the funds home, I need to ask her for approval if I want to buy anything. And cycling is not cheap. I told you. Yeah. So yeah, definitely for us it helped. But I know a lot of our couple friends are also CS because you'll see, you know. I don't know, people that article together sometimes have this tendency. CAs tend to hook up, okay? But some folks would say, oh, how boring, you just talk about numbers, but we rarely talk about just numbers. But yeah, it helps me because she understands. That was easy.
So you must start looking around in the room.
I want to just, before I don't know where you were closing, I have a closing thought, like a piece of wisdom. And I wanted to say earlier, and now you bring the example up of a car. Two things. I'll make a point first and then a piece of advice. And I think you touched upon it earlier, when somebody interviews with me in a role, attitude to me is 80%. If I look at a person's attitude, their willingness to learn, being honest and sincere, to me counts much more than having the smartest person there. Because if I have the smartest person, I don't know necessarily, let's say they get something wrong, will they tell me? When I have a person with the right attitude, that's sincere and will be able to tell me, yeah, Nico, I struggle here. But I know they're trying. That to me goes a long way. And then secondly, and I'm not trying to disrespect, and like you said, it's a real life example, the car. But in your studies and throughout your career, don't make excuses. Find solutions. If you don't have a car, cycle or go and speak up because somebody will see that you're working the extra mile and they will pick you up. If you show the right attitude, I tell you now, strong people, the Vincents of the world, will pick you up and walk that journey. But you gotta bring your attitude to the table first. And you gotta show that you're walking the extra mile. And I'm not here to now just receive and everything's gonna come my way. I'm willing to. And if you're willing to show that attitude, people will invest in you. And ultimately, and we haven't touched upon that now because we're not really talking about careers, but every successful person, man or woman in their career, would tell you that I had X, Y, and Z in my career that kind of sponsored me, or was there for me, that helped me. But it always starts with you showing that attitude. And yeah, and again to the earlier point, then it would fall naturally. Things would come naturally. Come with the right attitude. You come with the right approach of performing and bringing my part and adding value, and the rest will fall into place very naturally.
Any else?
Yeah, have fun, guys. Eh? Fun with your studies, that is. Yeah, I think you're backing on this because you want to make a better life for yourself, right? And you want to make a contribution into society, right? And uh, and as you go out there and you invest your time in your studies, you invest time as well in others that come after you, right? Dedicate yourself to your studies. It's absolutely worth it. I can't imagine my life without being a CA, right? The opportunities it has afforded me, it's been great. It's not easy, trust me, not easy at all till this day. But spoke earlier, resilience. Remember it.
On that note, I would like to say thank you very much for your time. I think we're all very dearly appreciative of your wise words. Having walked the journey already, having faced all the challenges that we're going through, I don't know, for me, on a personal level, it really helps a lot to know that there's someone else who's gone through it and they are successful in this journey, and I can also do this. And I think that's the whole purpose of tonight. I'd like to believe is that to be the thought behind with you guys as to it's doable. We can do this. It's tough, but it's part of the journey. It's an inherent thing of becoming a chartered accountant. And I think the most important thing also is to have someone, whoever, that you can speak to, that you can, that can mentor you in this journey. Because sometimes you come back, and Fongani told me the other day, you do all the test question papers, you do everything right. You go and you write the paper, and then, like, did I even study? So, it's it happens. But I think having someone that has already walked through the journey that can mentor you through it, it really it goes a long way. But thank you guys for also taking out the evening to come and be teachable and listen to what has had to be said. I hope you guys really take this to heart and it's of value at least that you didn't waste 2 hours of your life. But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.